Hello everyone. Today we have Miss Rajashree Adhikary with us. So Rajashree is an aspiring product manager working in HUL India, and I'll hand it over to Rajashree to introduce herself.
Hi, hello everyone. Firstly, thank you for having me here. And so I'm currently as a trainee in Unilever. So it's basically the Uni Ops section of Unilever that I am I've been recruited in. It's the IT wing of Unilever. And so yeah, product manager has been my dream. But then for going into that and in a company that is not conventionally known as the IT company, so definitely it's a process, it's a journey. So yeah, let's talk more about how we are going on. Currently, it's just the trainee program that we have for a year. It's the UFLP. I think it's quite familiar with most of the people outside. It's Unilever Future Leadership Program. We have it for 1 year, and then the last 3 months, that is the 13, 14, 15 months after 1 year, we have a subcharge. And post that, it's the confirmation that we get. So that is what we are going to. I will be finishing my first stint in just the next week. And yeah, that is how it is. Prior to this, before, if I want to introduce more, it was I am Kozhikode that I have done my MBA from. So I passed out this year itself, and then I joined Unilever. Uh, that is how it has been. Thank you, Partho, for having me here again once again.
Yeah. And you mentioned that HUL is heavily into IT. I haven't seen any IT products from HUL. Like mostly I see uh, FMCG products from HUL. So can you talk more about the IT section?
Right. So that is what I said. It is not a conventional, IT company as such, but it is trying to bring up to speed with what the other companies are doing about data. So it's the same thing that even our company is trying to do. It's we IT is the backbone for all the other functions that we have, be it finance, be it marketing, be it sales, or be it supply chain, the backbone of this huge company, HUL or Unilever in itself. So UniOps is the IT wing of Unilever. So whatever IT happens, it's the major hub that sits in Bangalore, and that is where the operations take place. So be the IT products or services or applications, whatever Unilever is using, be it in market or be it in the mm, be it in the internal operations side or internal decision making, whatever, however it is. So that is how IT comes in the entire landscape.
I'm still maybe not very clear on how IT is playing a role. Can you give some examples that might help us better understand the role of IT?
Right. A very basic example, I think that is there for, I would say, any organization or any large scale organization is the supply chain part. So when we talk about supply chain, it starts with the procurement. We are procuring things and then we are sending them to the factories. And in the factories, it's getting processed, then it goes to the distribution centers. So that is how the entire process is. So when we talk about data in supply chain, we talk about how much are we to procure, how much are we to make for that particular day or for that particular week. So that is the make part. And then how much are we to send to the distribution center. So we have algorithms for that in place. So those algorithms are then powered by data that is coming in from the users, be it the distribution centers or our retailers. So that is how data plays a role there. Now, if you come to say marketing. So when we are designing a campaign, for example, so what we do is we collect data from social media. We do a lot of analysis on the hashtags that are going around. We do a lot of analysis on what is the sentiments about the product. So these are kinds of data that we are collecting, and then on based on that we start our designs. Now, when we come to designs again, there are a lot of ways how, okay, so this is the data part that I talked about. Another aspect where IT comes in most of the, sectors that is not conventionally IT, that is the automation part. So automation is also whenever we are bringing in technologies to do the work that earlier was being done by 10 people. So that is also coming under IT. So that is another aspect. So automation we have in factories, we have in the regular jobs, like when we are processing the bills, claims, all of this. So that is how IT is coming into picture.
Right. Now coming to the product management part, what does a
Yeah,
product manager
sure.
do?
Okay. So, frankly speaking, this term is very, I would say, if you're not clear with what the role is offering you, then it's very easy to be fooled with when you have a job description in your hand. So I'm not talking this in the perspective of Unilever per se. I'm talking about it in general of how it is in the market. Anywhere, anytime you go for any of the product courses, this is the first thing that the trainer or the instructor is going to talk about. That you should not be fooled with the title as product manager because they have the title as product manager, and then when you go into the details of the job description, it moves into something else. So we have, you know, very similar roles in the market currently. We have product manager, we have program manager, we have project manager, and then everything comes together all of a sudden. But that is not the case. So for product manager, it is specifically dealing with the product. It's about when I'm just giving a basic example. Suppose you're just building an app. When you are building an app, as a product manager, it's your duty to prioritize about what will be the use cases of the app, about what is the user segment that you are focusing on, and then finally seeing to it that the product gets delivered in time so that the market scenario that you were thinking of and the user segment that was there in your head doesn't move away to some other product that has already come into the market. So that is your part to do. When you see the job description, you will find details of a project manager as well. That you have to do resource management, you have to do time management, you have to land the project in the entire thing in market. So everything comes like everything comes in the job description, but that is not what a product manager is. The product manager, if specifically comes into play, that is only the product part, and it's basically it is very commonly it is known as the CEO of the product. Product manager is CEO of the product. That is how they talk about it. So it's just only and only product. It's not managing, internal problems or stakeholder issues. That is not what a product manager should be doing. So I think this is the basic part of it of what a product manager is supposed to do. Uh, but then there are always, like the boundary is very thin. The lines are very thin. It is not that uh, once you join, you will be just confined to what you are supposed to do. There are many times you have to go beyond uh, what the role asks you of. So, yeah, that is what it is.
And because you are an inspiring product manager, what inspires you to be a product manager?
That is a good question. Uh, frankly speaking, before joining MBA, I was in an IT company. But then this term of product manager was not that much of a hype, you know. We never had a product manager per se in our team ever. So one we had a scrum master and the other person we had an engagement manager. And so I heard this term, I read about this term somewhere while I was preparing for MBA. But then I was not sure if I will fit into these shoes, or if I am the person for it. Basically, I did not have much of an idea about which role I should be going into when I'm joining an MBA. But then I had a discussion with my friend, and so she was the one who suggested that you are kind of a good fit for product manager. So that is when it struck me that okay, maybe that is what fits me, or that is what I should be doing going ahead. Uh, so I actually studied more into what product management is. I took a few courses and I figured out stuff. And then I realized that it is a very unique combination. Okay, it stands at the at the conjunction of business. It stands at the conjunction of technology. It also stands at the conjunction of market or users. So it's kind of a strategy role, but not entirely a strategy role, wherein you are not deciding the future of a company or something of that sort, but then you are a very crucial part who's dealing with the future. So you have a very key role to play. And so that is how I felt that maybe, since I am having some tech background and I have been interested in tech, it's not like, that I wanted to run away from tech, and that is why I did MBA. That was not my case. So I think this is somewhere that if I stay, maybe I'll be staying longer in this role. So that was one thing that I thought maybe uh, something that I should look at for in the long term sense, or that lens was what was working for me.
So this aspiration to become product manager came when you were in your university. But now that you're actually in the game, does the picture still remain the same, or did it change in any way?
Right. So it's not the very rosy picture that people paint. So that I would say for sure. Uh, it is someone who is at the gunpoint of many stakeholders. Anything goes wrong, the product manager comes into the picture. That what was it, or anything, be it any issue, or be it from the technology side, be it from the engineers working on it, or be it on the business who are not being very clear with the specifications. It's always the product manager that comes in the middle. And another point that I said is like it's very difficult to land in exactly product manager roles. So it's always the boundaries are very vague. So you are always switching from this end to that end. Either sometimes you are a project manager, sometimes you are a product manager, sometimes you are a kind of a lead developer who is explaining technological terms to the development team. So it's a very mix and match. And I think what I would say is agility is very important when you are thinking of becoming a product manager. Like if you are thinking of becoming a product manager, it's not always possible that whatever you have dreamt of or whatever you have in your mind at the initial phase, uh, that you are being able to implement, or that is being feasible till the end of the uh, entire development phase and going into the production and all of that. So uh, it's a tricky role, but I think it's something that you know how do I say? I think it opens up a lot of windows. That is what I feel. So what happens is when you are in product, you get an idea of what the strategy is from the business. Also get an idea of what the market needs. So the next, if you are done with whatever you want to do, or if you are done learning in the product role, you can switch either ways. You can go and move into the strategy line, and you can think further in that ways, or you can move into marketing and you can explore that area as well. That uh, initially I was just in the product part of it, and now when I'm trying to land these products in the market, how do I do that? So it's good. It's not exactly the same picture if I have to answer your question, uh, but it's not a very poles apart picture. It's kind of a similar thing. It's just evolving. Like my understanding is also evolving, I would say.
And help me understand this. So what does a career path of a product manager looks like? So is it like after you reach a certain point, you have to switch to marketing or some other domain? Or is there something very specific to product management where you can grow?
So, product manager, the ultimate after product manager is product owner. So there, that is the final of it. Now, when you come to a product owner, you again have, complexities. So maybe initially you are handling simple products, then you are handling more complex products, then you are handling something like what we call as scalable solutions, so that you are designing product for one purpose and then you are trying to bring it up for other purposes. So these are the different, varieties that I would say. And also, it takes some time to move from being a product manager to a product owner. So that is for sure. It's not that easy a process because it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of understanding how to handle stakeholders. How to have the thought process that you will understand how the market is going to change. Like when you have a fast moving market, when you have a very slow moving market, all these analysis. So these are tricks that you will understand when you have the hands-on experience in the industry.
So I understand that the responsibilities keep on growing, but
Yes.
what about the titles? Like, are product manager and product owner the only title in this domain?
So as far as I know, they are the only titles. Maybe post this, you move into, chief product officer or something of that sort. If it is a IT company, or if it's I would not say only IT company. If it's some companies like Netflix, then
Service based.
something of yes, yes, yes. So there you have chief product officer or chief product owners, just like the CXO suite we have, right? So this is also a pillar there. So these are also there, but then it depends. It actually varies from company to company. Uh, and also the fact is that initially maybe you will be working on one particular functional product. You will move to other functional products. So there are cross-functional roles as well. So uh, these are the types of career advancements that you can have.
That's insightful. So what does it take to become a product owner or product manager?
I think product manager is something that I so partly. Uh, so one thing is that you need to be understanding, or you need to have experiences how to design a product. So maybe as I've seen in most of the courses also talked about that you should start developing products on your own. Uh, so if your question might be that if I have something of uh, that sorts with me as well. So no, that is not something that I've worked on during my college days, but it's something that I have in my head. So it's like when you start working on a product on your own, and these days it has become very easy. Even if you don't have coding capabilities, there are a lot of no code applications that you can make on your own using some internet platforms. So the thing is that when you start thinking about how I am supposed to design a product, cut across a lot of a lot of steps that are involved in a real life product manager working in some company. What happens? You start identifying user pain points. That is when you start talking with a lot of people and you start figuring out what are their issues and are they even worth working on. Then you have a lot of brainstorming. When you do the brainstorming on your own, there there might be some limitations to the ideas. You start taking out your ideas with other people, and then you start discussing how to do, how to bring in the solution. And so these are the two parts that are already covered. And then we move into the product part. When we move to the product part, we try and figure out whether there are already such products available, or, if there are something that we can just improvise on the existing products. So what happens is, you have a very, I don't know the exact word to say, but you have a very fantastic CV when you go to some organization to show that, you are fit for the product manager role. And that is where it all matters. So it's easy to just go through courses or read books, but then when you start doing it, digging your hands, that is where things start taking shape. even if it's not, even if it's not developing products in the first place, but when you, so what we had in our B schools were the culture of case competitions. Uh, so I think you need to have some keen interest in solving case competitions also. So they teach you a lot about how you are supposed to think and how you are supposed to, visualize things when you are trying to build a product, or when you are trying to build a product within a, I would say, within a specified timeline, so that it is like market ready also, and the users are not going into some other space before you are bringing the product. So that is a very important, I would say, preparation behind when you are trying for product manager, honestly.
Earlier, I used to think that you need a MBA, or maybe that was the norm to get into product management. But now a bunch of people that who have never been to B school are taking on those roles. So can you talk a bit more on the pros and cons of going into product management with a B school degree versus without a B school degree?
Okay, so the fact is, a B school degree is always enriching if you have done it in the right way. Uh, ir- Irrespective of whether you are going into a product manager or you are going into any other domain of management. But then, people who are just moving into product management, that is kind of, they already have a lot of experience being the other roles that I was specifying, as in as a scrum master or an engagement manager or a delivery manager, or maybe they were the development leads or quality leads. These are the types of people uh, who have enough experience in the industry already to move into this product management role, wherein they can deal with uh, like what a B school student is coming in and trying to visualize that what is going to happen in the next few months, maybe in the market, that this guy is already visualizing because he has his experience at hand, because he has, his ample amount of communication with business, with strategy people. So that is the reason that they are able to, uh, I would say maybe probably live the role to the expectation of what we are trying to do with this role of a product manager. But then definitely when you come from a B school, certain expectations are also high from you. So it's like you must already be knowing that this is what we are expecting from you. This is what you are supposed to bring to the table. So then expectations will definitely become higher when you are from a B school, joining a company as a product manager. But then obviously the other fact is, even when you are coming in from a B school, you need a lot of help from this other surrounding people. It's not that you are just coming in and saying that, oh yes, I have passed out and come in and whatever I'm saying, that is what is going to work on and all. So these guys who have been working in the team for maybe probably months and years, they definitely have a very, very better idea than what you are having, be it of the team or be it of the product, be it of the market, anything. So it takes some time. It takes a learning curve for a B school graduate to actually turn into a fruitful product manager. So that is there.
Okay, to summarize what you said, so if I'm a person with no
Mm-hmm.
peaceful degree, I need to have
Mm,
experience in leadership where I'm making the team build something, or I should have some experience in customer management, or
mm,
kind of uh,
kind of,
building a product or something. Without those
kind of,
experiences, I don't have any chance of getting into this field. Am I right?
kind of. That is what kind of. So I think even when you are trying to take up that role, when you go through the description, when you go through the expectations of the role, you yourself will understand that this is not something that I am fit for. And this is not something that I will be able to do. So it's something like that. So that way it is there. The other part that also, if you have any question, you can go ahead.
I was asking that, let's say I'm a fresher. I haven't been to those roles. I don't have a B school degree,
Yeah.
and maybe I don't want to, I'm not rich enough to go to a B school. Then are there any courses or something that can help me get those required skills or certifications?
So there are a lot of courses on Udemy and all. So it's just widespread all over. There are a lot of people, really good, really great minds in product management, and I would suggest some of them. One person is Diego Granados. You can check on LinkedIn. He has a newsletter of his own also, and the post that he does on LinkedIn, it's amazing. We have another lady named Shivi. There is another person called Gibson Biddle. So he writes on Medium as well. So his posts are amazing. And then there is a very beautiful book called uh, The Lean Product, if I'm not wrong, by Dan Wilson. So these are things that you can start reading on or start working on and try and understand that okay, this is what happens in product management. And as I said, if you are really interested in product management, you can always uh, have start making or start analyzing products about how you can build something on your own or with a bunch of people, what however suits you. But if that comes into your portfolio, it's always good. It's always a plus 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 point.
Mhm.
That is it.
Okay, so before
But
we
apart from that, yeah,
go ahead.
apart from that, yeah. So apart from that, these courses and these newsletters. Also, another factor is podcasts. There are a lot of podcasts in product management. There is one really famous one that is Lenny's podcast. Uh, The thing about all of these is sometimes you might find them pretty repetitive because each and every product manager will have very similar basics that they work on and very similar, problem solving tactics. So it is just that what is suiting you or who is the person that you are preferring to learn with, and that is how you go ahead.
So before we wrap up, I have one final question. So when you
Sure,
were
yeah.
not into the field of product management, I believe your success would be, I want to be a product manager. But now you are on the field. What does success look like now?
Okay, so as of yet, uh, I have not yet been assigned as a product manager, as I said. So I'm just going through the training part. Uh, it's important to handle and to bring land in the market a few products. Maybe that is where I'm looking at now. Uh, if I can do that, then I will go to the next step. So uh, it's pretty basic for me as of now. I just want, I just want to prove myself out there in the field that yes, this is a feather in my hat, under my hat. I have done it. So, though there is nothing as I have done it in product management, you are always doing with the team, you're always doing with the team, and uh, it's always a we. I am, working with the team. But yes, that will be there in my portfolio, and that is when I will think of moving further.
All
So,
right.
yes.
Thank you, Rajesh, for joining us, taking out time of your schedule and helping us
Yeah,
and get enlightened on product management. So yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, yeah. Thank you as well.